Boom. That's what it was. That's what it was. That's what it was. The brick hand just finished it off. Boom. God damn.
What up, dope people? It's been a minute. Um, Missed out on a lot of dope matches and bouts to talk about. Usyk and Fury. Shout out to Usyk. Definitely top five pound for pound. What was the other one I missed? Canelo versus Munguia. I I didn't want to really even. It was nothing to really recap. I kind of knew what that was going to be. But this right here, Tank Davis versus Frank Martin. Tank versus the Ghost, and it ended like many people predicted. I thought it would go to distance, and I thought Tank would win unanimously on points. I didn't know that Frank was going to just be a turnstile against the ropes. I didn't know he was just going to sit there, plant, and not counter off the ropes. I've seen him counter off the ropes tremendously. He did it a little bit in the first opening round. So what was crazy is he was winning 3-0, and he never won a round after the third. And I wasn't shocked by that because Tank is a slow starter. He's collecting data. He's downloading what you do, your tendencies, your habits, and he's a counter puncher. He's just a counter puncher. But what I wasn't expecting was him to walk him down. He was just walking down, walking through punches because Frank isn't a power puncher per se. He got some pop in his punch, but for whatever reason, man, I just think we underestimate Tank's chin. We underestimate Tank's chin because he's going to get some hard hitters. People always say Rolly is one of the hardest punchers in that division, and we all know Ryan can swat. Like he got it. Like he out here. So Frank wasn't in that caliber of a threat when it comes to the punches. And had it been differently, had that been Ryan Garcia up 3-0, Tank would have been in trouble because he would have accumulated power shots. Whereas a lot of the good movement and a lot of the busy work that Frank was doing was pop shot and jabs, throwing flurries of combinations. Some was splitting the guard. Some of it was blocking Prairie, though. I don't know how many people was really paying attention. A lot of times, Tank was like turning with the shots. So although it looked like it was connecting, it was grazing at most. But he really just won those first three rounds just being busier and active. And that was purposely done. And I know people going to talk about how Tank, with this rehydration clause in his contracts, it takes a lot out of the fighter when it gets into those middle rounds. I don't think that was the case. I think Frank was just overly busy. He could have won those first three rounds that he won. He could have won those being half as active as he was because Tank was literally not throwing anything. He was pressing them. He would maybe try to counter here and there, but I felt like he was just trying to see how powerful his punches was. And if you look back, I forget what round it was in the corner, they were saying like he ain't got no power, and then somebody's like he got a little power, but it wasn't no big deal. The other thing was trying to see how much I could bully you to get you in the ropes and seeing your tendency off the ropes. And when he got caught with that uppercut, if you look at the second and third round, particularly the third round where Tank started to get more active, he was landing with little uppercuts, the ones that you don't see in the midst of in the exchange. And that is the one that really stunned him before the left. The knockout, if you look real quick, and I'm pretty sure y'all done seen this since then, but the with the replay in slow mo, it's the uppercut that stuns him and makes him drop his guard down. Then he follows it up with that devastating left on the button too. And so it was over in 8. But let's not make no mistake about it. Frank is a good fighter. He's just going against somebody that's like a generational talent. Frank is good, and Frank could beat a lot of other guys. He just couldn't beat him. He don't have the power like to do it. Shakur, stay away from Tank. Stay away from Tank. Devin Haney, stay away from Tank. Ryan Garcia, you should you I would say stay away from Tank, but he got that it factor with that one punch, and anything can happen when you got that type of power. And it's almost like Frank Martin had a good early game plan, but he didn't have a plan B. Um, and Shakur is probably going to be more tactically aware than Frank. Like I don't think you're going to bully Shakur against the ropes that often. I don't care who you are in that weight class. I just don't see it. But he don't have the power, and I don't think he's as quick as Frank. Like Frank is quick. Like in the early rounds, if you look back when they were in exchange and the few times Tank did try to throw something, he would hit him with a nice little counter, a counter left, a check hook, something real quick, and then he would back up. He just couldn't stick to that game plan because he got fatigued. And the pressure, when someone's constantly walking you down, like you're just not going to be moving as freely as you was in the opening rounds. So with that being said, the person that's going to beat Tank doesn't exist right now. Not in those weight divisions. You need a combination of Frank Martin, Shakur, and Ryan Garcia. You need the quickness and the jab of a Frank Martin, the busyness, the size of a Frank Martin. You need maybe the defensive awareness of a Shakur Stevenson, but with the hand speed and power of Ryan Garcia. There's no one person that got all of that. People want to see him versus Loma. I think Loma at this stage, and I don't think he's got it. I think if you telling me this was Loma 5 years ago, I'll be so into this fight. I just think this is one of those. It won't be as bad as Pretty Boy Floyd versus Arturo Gatti. If y'all remember that, it won't be that bad. I don't think, but it'll be levels. It'll be basically, I don't know, like when De La Hoya was the man and he went against Cesar Chavez, who was just like a legend, but he was like kind of past it, all the way past it pretty much. I feel like it'll be something like that. Now I don't think Loma is that far past it the way Chavez was against De La Hoya, but I think y'all get what I'm saying. So credit to PBC. It was a good fight. I'm into it. Y'all let me know who's next. Who do y'all want to see Tank against? And who makes sense? Who makes sense? It's not Shakur. It's not Haney. Loma. Teofimo? Y'all think Teofimo? Y'all think Teofimo? We'll talk about that some other time. Y'all have a good one, man. I'm out.